Hello, it's Fellonius the Wizard, and I'm doing yet another yapping, and today we're going to talk about the small towns. Now, when we are talking about small towns, it's all depending on where you live in the world, of course. When I talk about small towns around me, they probably are not even towns in your neck of the woods if you're living in the United States, because everything is not a town. But still, there is something inside every small town that is, I'm not totally sure if I can want to use the word better, but it seems like it's oddly enough positively better, at least, than the big cities. Now, the big cities around me is Stockholm, Gothenburg and Malmö, and the rest of the list that I have told you about way back. And big cities are often, there are so many strangers in a big city. If you're just watching it, most people don't know that there are so many people in the city. And they don't know anyone. And in Sweden it's even worse, because we don't want to know anyone. We don't even want to know our neighbors. No, that's bad. I don't know why, but still, that is how it is. I'm connecting with my neighbors at the moment, at least, and that's good for me. But I'm not living in a city at all. But I am planning on moving to my closest city. And it's a very small town. Actually, you can probably walk through it in less than an hour if you want to. And that is not big. And there are not that many people, but there are everything you need, and that is almost the perfect thing. But there are not that many options. I mean, okay, when it comes to restaurants, we have a lot, but we don't have many shoe shops. I think we have one. You don't have that many clothes shops. There was actually one went bankrupt. Sorry to say, but it's pandemic, so why not? So there are enough stuff. There is one cinema and so on. And that lowers the status from another perspective, that is from the big cities. The bigger the city, the more they ignore you as a small town. So the small town status is not really... It's like you have been forgotten. Trains pass through your town and you can't stop them, because they are not supposed to stop there. And when it does, it's usually one of those slow-moving trains. Buses goes in and out, but you don't get to the other big city because it's on the other side of the county line. That is strange, but you can take a slow train down there, so yeah. So, there is, however, because of the pandemic, some changes coming up. I heard that about 26% of people are actually thinking about moving out from the big cities. Okay, getting out to the country. Yeah, but not only the country, to the small towns around, like Trosa, Gnesta, Flen. There is so many small towns around Stockholm that many people can just go within the hour to get to a small town that has all the things you need and still work in the big city, which of course is stupid, I will admit. And that has raised the status of the small towns. Suddenly they are really, we want to move there. There is one more thing. It's always cheaper to live in the small towns. Now, however, I've also seen on the YouTube that starting in a small town, those Americans who moved to Sweden, they suddenly just end up in Stockholm anyway, because they are missing out on the big city feeling. Well, that's nice. That's your problem, I can say. But the Swedes, however, is going the other direction. And you should also know that most of the peoples, especially those that I mentioned on my top 10 list, they are still growing. It's not like they are getting smaller in any account. But there are people moving in from other countries, and they are moving to smaller cities, smaller towns, because it's more cozy. Or they are forced to live there, I don't know. So, I have a friend, as you probably know, rsmalec. He is not living inside a big city. He's always trying to be in the outskirts of every city that he lives. He might be working inside the big city, but he tries to move as far away from the city as he can. He wants to have the civilization on one side of the house and the green pastures on the others. When he told me that, I was going, yeah, that's life. That's, if you are able to move and get that is good. So I was thinking about that. Perhaps one should live just in the outskirts. And then I realized, well, if I'm moving to my nearest town, that is exactly what it is. There's no way, no matter where I live in that little town, I will have like 10 minutes to the nearest park or woods even. I can go fishing within 10-15 minutes and I can bike there. I can walk like 20 minutes and suddenly be in the middle of a big forest. It is like Ron explained it to me. I would say that the small towns, they are more worth for a human being than the big cities. But on the other hand, if you are used to being in a big city, if you think that it's important to be in the big city, if you feel like you are someone special if you live in the big city, then please continue to do that. Just keep away from me and my little small towns, because they are the best. Right, and you probably have some ideas about this. In that case, you know the comments, just drop it down there. Otherwise, I just thank you for listening. Bye for today.